Hello everyone, in this video we are going to be cross-simplifying. Now cross-simplifying is used when we multiply fractions, and it can be a real benefit to us because it can make the problems a lot easier for us. Now again, usually smaller numbers mean things are easier, alright? So now if you look at this first example here, I could do 3 times 20 and I could do 8 times 27. But if I can make this problem easier, then that's better for me. So what I need to do is I need to look at the cross sections. I need to look at the 3 and the 27, and the 8 and the 20. So let's start with the 3 and the 27. Is there a number other than 1 that goes evenly into both 3 and 27? And here's where knowing your factors, your math facts are going to come into play here. And there is a number. There's 3. 3 goes into itself 1 time, so I'm just going to divide both of these numbers by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. So now I have a new numerator up here and a new denominator down here. Now, it just so happens I do the same thing here. What's the greatest number that goes evenly into both 8 and 20? Well, that's going to be 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So now I'm just multiplying straight across here. 1 times 5 is 5, and 2 times 9 is 18. So there's my answer. I don't need to simplify because I simplified everything before I actually did the multiplication. Now again, if I did 3 times 20 and 8 times 27, eventually, after doing some reducing, I'd wind up with this 5/18. Alright, next example here, I have 2 and a 20 and a 5 and a 19. Now right off the bat, if you know your facts, you'd recognize that 5 and 19, the only common factor they share is 1, and we're never going to reduce by 1. We're never going to simplify by 1. So let's go ahead and look at this. The 2 and the 20, well, they share a common factor of 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So now let's multiply straight across. 1 times 19 is 19, and 5 times 10 is 50. So there's my answer, 19/50ths, and that cannot be reduced any further. If we look over here, the third one here, 24 and 17, I can't do anything with that. The only common factor they share is 1, but the 30 and the 15, well, again, this requires us to know some of our facts here that 15 goes into itself 1 time, and 15 goes into 30 2 times. So 15 divided by itself is 1, and 30 divided by 15 is 2. So now if I multiply straight across, I get 24 over 2 times 7 is 34. Now the difference here is that I could still reduce this. All right, so hopefully you recognize that both of these are even numbers, so 2 will divide evenly to both of them. So 24 divided by 2 is 12, and 34 divided by 2 is 17. So my answer is 12/17. Now why the difference with this one? If you recognize here that even after I cross-simplified here, I was left with this. Let me rewrite it. I was left with 24 over 2 times 1 over 17. So I can't cross-simplify anymore, but recognize this 24 over 12, I can reduce that, right? 24, 2 goes into 24 12 times, and 2 goes into itself once. So this 24 over 2 can become 12 over 1. So now when I multiply that by 1/17, I get this same answer of 12/17. Okay? So again, just to do this a different way, if I take the same exact problem, let's say I multiply this. Let's say I look at this, 24 over 30. Let's say I just reduce this fraction first. Well, 6 goes into 24 4 times, and 6 goes into 30 5 times. So now I change this 24/30ths to 4/5. Now if I multiply that by 15/17, and before I do, hopefully we recognize here, I can cross-simplify here. Alright, so 5 goes into itself once, 5 goes into 15 3 times, so I wind up again with that same 12/17. So I'm just trying to show you that there's a lot of different ways you can reduce a fraction before you actually do the multiplication. And again, the smaller the number we have to reduce, the easier it is, that more likely it is that we'll get the right answer. Because again, if I'm multiplying 8 times 27 or 5 times 20 or 30 times 17 or 24 times 15, there's a greater chance I make a mistake. So that's how we cross simplify. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.